Okay, welcome to our last video for Unit 8. It's all about angle of depression and angle of elevation. Okay, so we only have one vocab word for today. Angle of elevation and depression. And the best definition is just to look at the picture. It's the easiest way to define this one. It's just by a picture. So, take a look at this. If you have a horizontal line, usually it'll be something up in the air, like maybe a plane or a kite or something like that, something up here. And then you have something down here. This is usually the ground or somebody standing on the ground. Okay, you're going to have these two horizontal lines. Okay, this angle right here that's formed is called the angle of depression. And the angle that you would make that goes up is called the angle of elevation. So the angle going down is depression, angle up is elevation. Let me show you some more examples of what I mean. Okay, take a look at these examples. You don't need to draw them, just look at them. So you have your horizontal line here at the hot air balloon, and then you have the person standing here at the ground. We're looking at the horizontal line from her vision, her eyes, her eye level. Okay, well, if you form a line going from what she's her eyes to the hot air balloon, angle of depression would be formed and angle of elevation would be formed. So she's looking up, that's our angle of elevation of 38 degrees, and maybe somebody in the hot air balloon looking down at her would form an angle of depression of 38 degrees. Same over here with our boat and our plane. Okay, you can see the angle of depression going down. So if somebody were in here looking down at the boat, okay, or the ship, it would be angle of depression. And then angle of elevation would be 20 degrees. So somebody here looking up would make 20 degrees. These two would be the same angle. Take a look at this bird and dog. Okay, the eye level of the dog here, when he's looking up at the bird, forms an angle of elevation. And then the bird's eye level, looking down at the dog, would be your angle of depression. Alright, well, let's practice some word problems. Okay, so make sure you write your title. And number 1, Billy's kite has a string 40 feet long and is flying 27 feet above his eye level. Find the angle of elevation of the kite. So go ahead and write that, pause the video, and draw a picture that represents this word problem. And then check it with my picture that I'm going to draw. Okay, so hopefully your picture looks something like this, probably better than this. This is a pretty rough drawing, but here's your kite. The string on the kite is 40 feet long. Okay, and it's flying at 27 feet above his eye level. So here's his eye level, and it's flying 27 feet above that. We have to find the angle of elevation, so it would be this angle of the kite. So, do you remember how to solve this type of problem? Well, we're going to be looking for angle x, so let me go ahead and put a spot for my answer. X equals. Okay, well, we're going to have to use trigonometry. So, let me go ahead and label my sides for my angle. So, 27 would be our opposite side, and 40 is our hypotenuse. So remember that sine uses opposite and hypotenuse, so sine of x is equal to opposite, 27, over hypotenuse, which is 40. Well, we're looking for an angle this time, so remember we're going to use inverse sine. So first thing we need to do, or the next thing we need to do, is divide 27 by 40. Okay, and that gives us 0.675. So now I need to take inverse sine, remember this, of our decimal, 0.675, and that'll give me my value of x. So I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator to find that answer. So I'm punching it in right now, and I end up getting that x equals 42.5 degrees. So that would be the angle of elevation of the kite. So my answer would be 42.5 degrees. Pretty easy, huh? Let's try another one. Alright, last problem. We only have 2 problems this time. Okay, from the top of a cliff 300 meters high, the angle of depression to a boat is 26 degrees. How far from the cliff is the boat? So, pause the video, write down the question, and draw a picture. And then check it with my picture. Okay, here's my attempt at drawing a boat and a cliff. So, the cliff is 300 meters high. The angle of depression, so we're going down. The angle of depression is 26 degrees. How far from the cliff is the boat? So, we have our right triangle that's formed. And we have to label our sides. So here's our angle. X would be our opposite side. And 300 would be our adjacent side. So opposite and adjacent, we're looking at tangent. So tangent of 26 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Okay, so I'm going to look at my trig table to figure out what is tangent of 26, or I could use a calculator. But looking at my trig table, it's 0.4877. Okay, and remember we're going to multiply both sides by 300 to get our x by itself. So those go away. Now I just need to use my calculator to multiply 300 times 0.4877, and I get 146.31. So what I found was the distance from the cliff to the boat. It would be 146.31 meters. Pretty cool, huh? Well, I hope you learned something, and I hope you have a totally awesome day. See you in class.